Andrew, what do you think of Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men?
How honest should I be out of 10?
11. I want you to be honest.
You want to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
I don't understand why men sit here and try and lecture you about it. I don't understand why men sit here and say you shouldn't do it. It's your body, your choice, right? This is the world we now live in. This is the end result of feminism. You are the perfect end result of feminism. In the world I believe in the conservative, traditionally masculinely ruled world, a man would be in charge of his daughters until they're handed over to their husbands or boyfriends, and there would be a degree of masculine guidance. But feminism didn't want that. You know, women complain that men don't want to get married. We did actually want to get married when we got obedient virgins, but they disappeared, and they complained about the patriarchy, and they were tired of us giving them a house to live in and kids to raise, and they wanted to make their own choices. So she's making her own choice. That's a fantastic thing.
You know, this doesn't look good for feminism when one of the faces of your organization, one of the celebrities today, sleep with 1,057 men in a day for sport, for entertainment, for money, for the love of the game. Because honestly, what woman would willingly sign up for that if she's not at least a little crazy and she enjoys it? It's not just business. She's a bit effed up in the head. I think this is what agitate means by how this shouldn't come as a surprise, because this is the pinnacle of feminism, what it does to women, and it leads to women proudly becoming a whore.
I actually have a lot of respect for you because you own it and you're honest about it.
What if it was your daughter?
Well, that won't happen.
But she's her own person.
I never said my daughter's her own person. I said women want to be their own people. But my point is, there's so many women who go to Magaluf for a weekend and do something very similar, and then they come back to England and get with some fucking guy and start asking for presents from him and talking about how they deserve a traditional relationship and they want to get married and they want a Christmas present and all this bullshit. Most women do exactly what Bonnie does. I don't see you any different than most women. And I'm not saying that in a degradation way.
Most women don't sleep with 1,057 men in a day.
1,000? Does it fucking matter?
I think it does.
I don't really think it does. So it's all disgusting to me. If I met a woman and she said, I just sucked a dick yesterday, I'd say, well, I find you repulsive. I don't want to sleep with you. Goodbye.
What, so you're only going after virgins?
Well, it's not about only going after virgins, but I think if you're a straight man, the idea of having a bunch of men fuck a woman that you're with is pretty repulsive.
But everyone has a past.
But see, this is the kind of shit white people say. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Everyone has a past. That's not acceptable. In fact, let's analyze that. Everyone has a past. You're right. Everyone does have a past. It's true. But isn't the primary objective of a man to find a woman with as little past as possible? Yeah. Would you argue that's one of the precursors to finding a wife? Considering that wives were supposed to be virgins. This was the deal. The reason I'm proud of Bonnie, and I am genuinely proud of you, I like Bonnie. I like what she's doing. Because the deal was...
Are you not contradicting yourself here?
In what way?
Well, you're proud of her sleeping with 1,057 guys, but women should be virgins.
No, I'm saying that the social contract, the construct of society that made family function, was women were obedient virgins, and they found a man who provided for them, and they listened to that man. Women have then said, we don't like the patriarchy. We're tired of being provided for. We're tired of being taken care of. We don't want to listen to anybody. We want to make our own decisions. That was women and feminism that ended the traditional family unit. And now women can make their own decisions. So I'm glad that Bonnie's making her own decision.
Yeah,
I'm not here to tell you not to do it.
I take women back 100 years. I'm like, no, I'm the clear example of how to be empowered. I use my body. I do what I want, when I want. And this is the thing you've been banging on about for years. And when I get hate, like when I click on the comments of these women that are like, oh, you're taking us back 100 years. Then in their bio, it says stay-at-home mom of 2. I'm thinking, what the fuck was you rooting for? Because you have just stayed at home.
That's right, Bonnie. See, this is the future.
Yeah.
This is the future. This is fantastic. It's exactly what Western society's headed to.
So here's my observation of women in the last few years. We're in 2025, and women don't know a dude who's bad for them, even if it's right there, literally slapping her in the face. Like, women don't know how to for a good guy, a proper guy anymore. women will sleep with anyone. A woman will be not just a homie hopper, but like a family hopper, like sleeping with her ex's cousin or her current man's brother or even father, for goodness sakes. Like it's really weird, it's really crazy. There are some women who are moralists and think that their shit don't stick and think they're the best person in the world. They think that their opinion is always the right one and damn everybody else who disagrees with you. These same women will curse men out their name, label men misogynists just because they believe in traditional gender roles, and don't you dare have a different political view than her, because if you do, then you're just part of the problem with the world and you enable toxic masculinity.
So why are we going to sit here and pretend this is not? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that most women who go on girls' holidays aren't doing something similar to what Bonnie does just because it's not on camera? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that these men who walk around with their wives in the pub in England, and they're like, oh, my wife, yeah, everyone has a past. Oh, no, she's done the same shit. What's the difference? Who gives a fuck? Right? We're either going to care and accept that women are judged on their past and judged on their innocence and judged on their naivety and judged on these things like it used to be, or we're going to sit and say it doesn't matter, everyone has a past. Well, if everyone has a past, everyone has a past. Who gives a fuck? Does it really matter?
Now, that is something to think about. The less past a woman has, the more innocent she is, the more naive she is, the more youthful they are. Like it's night and day between a woman who's been ran through by the time she's in her mid-20s and she's had all this experience with men. She has all these different comparisons of men that she could make, and now women will hear that and go like, well, you got to know what you don't like and what you don't. Dude, okay. Common sense. Let's bring back common sense, because it doesn't take a girl to be dating dozens of dudes for her to figure out what she doesn't want in a man. So all that kind of corrupts her soul. All that semen practically turns her into a guy anyway. Like you don't really want that. You don't want a woman who's just been used and abused and has all these trust issues, and she's already thinking that all these men are the problem. So ladies, if you ever have a problem with a guy who says that he likes to date younger women, 20, 21, 22, whatever, it's because that this younger woman is less likely to have a messier dating history, less of a past.
So
anymore?
What would you do if it was your daughter, though?
But why are you asking impossible questions?
Well, it's not an impossible question.
Of course it is.
How?
It can't happen.
But anything can happen.
It's against the laws of physics.
It's not.
I mean, if your daughter opened her legs and took 1,000 dicks, it's not impossible.
Of course it is.
What?
Why
I mean,
is
the
it
dicks
impossible?
would enter her pussy, therefore she's taken.
It's literally impossible for my daughter.
What, are you going to be there against your daughter's pussy saying that dick's not entering it?
No, my daughter just wouldn't make that decision.
But why?
Because I still raise her in a household where she is masculinely guided, and she will be guided by me until I hand her over to some other man. However, I believe when women are left to their own devices, they will only ever make stupid decisions.
Was mine a stupid decision?
I wouldn't say it's any more stupid than most decisions women make, to be honest.
Yo!
I think that most women, to some degree, are sex workers anyway.
Wait, whoa. He basically said that her decision to not only be some promiscuous OnlyFans model that sleeps with 1,000 dude in one day like it's nothing is no different than any woman making any decision ever, because they all just have a great reputation of making ridiculous and dumb decisions that negatively affect their lives. That's insane to me. Real quick, back to his point on how his daughter will never do such a thing. I just want my kids to make good choices when I'm not around. That's the point I'm trying to make here. If they can make good choices while I'm not around, I'm a successful father. Because they're not going to always want to trust me. They're not going to always want to come to me. I get that. But I just want them to be able to select the best possible decision for the current situation that they're in right now. And usually at the very top, it should be call dad. Call dad. Number 2, call mom. Because mom will break it down gentlier to dad. Which, if you flip it, technically, I think that is the smarter choice, is to call mom before letting me hear from it. Anyways,
like, let's be honest about it, right? Most women look at Miami or Dubai. What's your job? Oh, I've got a boyfriend. So your job is being a girlfriend. And why does he give you money? Because you give him sex. So most women are sex workers anyway, to be honest.
But isn't that what you said the family unit was?
Well, then you're a sex worker with one customer. You know, which is nice. I guess it's better. It's more efficient.
But what about if you're raising children? That's not sex work, is it?
No, that's being a mother.
Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting, Rob. Rob said this, not me. So they're either virgins, sex workers, or mothers. Are those the three categories?
I think you're putting words into my mouth.
I think that's what Rob just said. Those are the three categories.
I'm just sat in the middle.
And women have to choose to be one of them.
So is that what you think?
I think that when a woman becomes a mother, she has a purpose. And I think that women should be having children as soon as possible. And I think it gives their life a direction. And I think it's the most important thing to preserve society, especially if you want to talk about geopolitics and talk about race and all of these things. If you want to have a country that looks like the country it used to be, you need to have the original people from there having children. I think all of that is true. Absolutely. I think every day a woman goes without having kids is primarily a waste of time. But once again, what does it matter what I think? Rob, I've given up. Rob, I've given up trying to save the world. I've given up. No, Rob. I've given up on misogyny and all this shit.
No, you haven't.
They attacked me with the Matrix. They keep throwing me in jail. I am now all for women empowerment. I think women should run around fucking as many men as they want. I like what Bonnie's doing. She's getting the bag. She's getting rich. Most girls out here don't want to have kids. They just want to get Birkin bags and Instagram likes. Good. I'm a feminist, a pro-feminism. This is the world now. How the world's going to end up, who gives a fuck? Who cares about the future?
See, women go around, use sex to their advantage, but then are happy to cry about it straight away, saying, oh, he took advantage of me. And it's like, you're the one that wanted to do sex to have like the job promotion, or you're the one that wanted to have sex to get more attention or try and be more liked. But then they cry about it. And that's what I get frustrated about. And even with porn stars, like people in my industry, they'll do this for a few years, get the money, get the boob jobs, get the house. And then suddenly they go, oh my God, I was forced into the industry. Oh my God, someone took all my money.
Have you ever considered a job as a lawyer? Because I could do with you. You're 100%,
that was based.
Right. So this is the false dichotomy of society, right? So this is the reason when I said I like what Bonnie does, because Bonnie completely 100% owns what she does. And she says, it's my decision. And I've seen people try and lecture you. I've seen people sit there and try and lecture you and say like, oh, but you're a creature of God and you shouldn't be doing this. No, you should do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
It's up to you to do whatever you want. And you're not saying anybody tricked you into it. It's your decision. And let's be honest, when they talk about,
I find it funny when adult film actresses, a couple years after they retire, and you know they're doing a podcast or something, they come out and say like how much they regret doing it, how they felt like they didn't really have a choice, that they were manipulated, that they're a victim of the adult film industry. They don't recommend anybody should do it, and if you do decide to do it, you should really look at yourself in your life and be like, are you prepared to lose anybody who has any respect for you? Because the only people you're going to run into are people who are going to use you. Not only that, but do you want your children to be ridiculed and bullied for the mother they have? Because it's gonna come out. Shut up. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're grown, right? You want to be heard. You want to be free to make your own decisions, make your own choices. You don't want to listen to dad. You're off in college. You're your own woman. You're an adult right now. People should take you seriously. You want people to take you seriously. And then you decide to do adult film. Sex work. Like, how low do you have to be? Most of these women are doing all right. They're not picking these women off the street. These recruiters aren't picking women like this off the street. They're just walking out and about. These girls dressed fairly decent, you know, attractive, youthful, probably objectively attractive, I would assume. At least a 6 out of 10, you know, cute, fairly cute. Your life isn't over. Like there's a gleam of hope that they see in you, and then you decide to let yourself get taken advantage of because of what? The money that you don't have? What do you need to buy? If your dad's around, and if your dad's around, you don't have any kids, You have the attention. You have a vision in mind of what you want your career to look like, what kind of job you want. You're still full of glee and hope. You haven't been corrupted by by the realities of the world. I don't understand why you would want to make this decision to become a P star.
And let's be honest, when they talk about taking women back 100 years, let's actually be very honest here, Rob. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
There's always been whores.
It's the oldest profession.
Ancient Rome had whores. There's always been whores. The Aztecs had whores.
Longest living profession.
You think there weren't concubines in the fucking Ming dynasty sucking little Chinese pee-pee? Of course there were. There's always been whores. It's the oldest profession in the world.
Exactly.
So do you think it's a legitimate job?
Well, I mean, no, check her bank. I'm sure she's making fucking loads of money. So here's where do you draw the line? If we're going to live in this false dichotomy, because the world was very simple once, not too long ago. And men had this terrible misogynistic view, which I, of course, don't agree with, that women can't make their own decisions because they're naturally chaotic. And when women decide anything, life's fucked up. In fact, these men, in their disgusting... These men in their disgusting misogyny believed if you gave women the vote, we'd end up with open borders and drag queen story hours.
No,
so
not the drag queens.
Then they did give women the vote, and society took a particular direction. But when men were in charge of things, women didn't have to worry about what they can do with their life because their father took care of it and then their husband took care of it. But now we live in a brand new world where women can make all of their own decisions. And the path she's chosen, I don't think is any different than most paths women take. I think she's just more honest about it and more upfront about it. If you're going to go to Dubai and meet a girlfriend and you think she hasn't been fucking for money the entire time she was living in Dubai, then you're an idiot. If you're in Miami and you got girls on your boat and you think they're not fucking for money all of the time, now they may not say per hour, but they'll be fucking a guy they barely like to get the rent paid, or they're fucking a guy they barely like because he has a car.
Yeah.
So women are fucking for money all the time anyway. That's all women do now. The entire Western world is women fucking for money. So how hypocritical would it be for me to sit here and say, Bonnie, who's honest, who monetizes it directly with her own media empire, who's upfront about it and makes money from it, is a worse person than the girl who walks around like she's goody two-shoes and then sucks dick in a Magaluf toilet. Because that's what most girls are doing anyway. Mm-hmm. Rob.
So I don't particularly see this in Los Angeles County and, average dude, average circles, what have you. But I have met a handful of strippers, don't ask me how, and they expect you to wine them, dine them. They almost want you to put them on a pedestal. They want you to take care of everything. They want you to treat them like the princess. They surely aren't. Definitely a whore. If you make a career of sloppy men slobbering all over you, touching you. Oh, and if they're real high rollers, they get to be inside of you. Since these strange men in the strip clubs can take care of your finances, now you want me as a guy who's romantically interested in you to cover the emotional debt that you're in. Hell no. Hell no. And I was not romantically interested at all. All right. I'm just saying as an example, these dudes who don't mind girls being a stripper for whatever reason. Because I see that I immediately think, oh, F buddy. Obviously. That's why I have an issue, because they want me to treat them like they're not, that their body isn't for sale when clearly it is.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, the world's fucked. They're all like this. Rob, they're all the same.